Hi, welcome to Navigating the Truth. It is July 23rd, 2023, and my guest today is Patricia Hill, and Patricia is a spiritual coach. Enjoy.
I can't hear you, but you can hear me, right?
We interrupt to bring you this.
We've hijacked your daily dose of regurgitated news to bring you Navigating the Truth. Brace yourself, listeners, as you're about to enter a world where the narrative is no longer masqueraded as the truth. A world where the conspiracies of yesterday's translate into the truths of today.
Are you listening?
The veils covering the truth are lifting, and understandings once suppressed are finally being revealed. Will you be ready? And now, your host and navigator through these circles of lies, the host of Navigating the Truth, Caroline Bell Tumblety.
Hi, welcome to Navigating the Truth on this lovely Sunday. It is the 23rd of July. And we are flying through this year, that's for sure. And it is actually a little overcast in Scotland, but it's been a pleasant day. Weather's kind of funky, like a lot of wind, a lot of rain. But the good thing about it is the rain seems to be through the night, and during the day we seem to be a little more like, what would you call it, fair weather. So I hope everybody's doing well, wherever you are. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday. And I would like to thank the listeners who have chosen to listen in today. Thank you very much. And my website is souliam.org. I also have a YouTube channel. It's still fairly new as far as me uploading. It's Caroline Bell Tumblety. I have a Facebook. It's the same, Caroline Bell Tumblety. Don't really go there much, but I try to look in at least a couple of times a week. And there is a donate button on the website. If you enjoy what you're listening to, please hit that donate button. There are so many good shows, and there are wonderful hosts, excellent, awesome guests, and there is the Dark Vault. If you are so inclined, you can do a monthly, which gives you access to all the shows, the ones that are in the Dark Vault, as well as everything else. So it's well worth it. And today, I have a very, very special guest. I have Patricia Hill. And let me tell you about Patricia. Patricia is a certified spiritual coach. Patricia Hill's writing is characterized by the same enthusiasm, wisdom, and humor she brings to her work as an intuitive life coach and an energy healer. With her low-key, informal style and impressive success at facilitating life-changing insights and energy shifts for her clients, it's no wonder that Patricia's workshop classes and private coaching sessions are booked months in advance. A Florida native, Patricia began her spiritual journey early, really early, at the age of 5. With no adult supervision, she left her Jacksonville home, marched into a local church, and enrolled in Sunday school. Seeking information about the divine, more, she intuitively knew was at work in the universe. That early passion still drives Patricia's work. Her intense desire to serve and heal has transformed her own life and been instrumental in her mission of assisting clients and students from all walks of life to connect with their intuition and manifest their deepest desires. Featured in Natural Awakenings magazine and a regular guest host on Awakened Radio, Patricia's greatest joy is helping others step into their spiritual brilliance. She is also a Reiki practitioner, a licensed massage therapist, and is certified in transformational breathwork. So I would like to give a warm welcome to Patricia. Welcome, Patricia.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you for being my guest. Thank you for accepting my invitation. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, that's quite a bio you have. So you were the young age of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I just, I just knew that there was more to this reality.
Yeah. And it came to you at a young age. Yeah.
Well, I guess too, I was very curious, right? And I think I was really very independent because I thought, well, things don't make sense at home.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think I'll venture out and figure this out on my own.
And how did that go? Like you signed yourself up for Sunday school?
Yeah,
Like
I started going every week. And I'd
Mhm.
go, it was about 2 blocks away, and I would walk to the little church. And of course, it was Baptist. So, of course, they were preaching. This is the funny thing. They were preaching, hell and brimfire.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was the first false, information that I received. But I also knew that from a soul perspective, I guess, that I needed to seek out answers.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Yeah, the divine was
yeah,
calling. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And like I had actually watched you've been putting up videos on YouTube like for the past couple of, well, I'd say about 3 weeks now. And
oh,
it's
yeah,
spiritual saturation. I think
right.
I love it. I love the title. How did you come up with that?
Well, my spirit was giving me some information, right?
Mhm.
And so it all kind of unfolded. How they give you words and
Mhm.
things, and so I was like, I got the word saturated, so that I was thinking, well, and so I did a little research, and then I was like, oh, okay, and then I was listening to some astrology things, which I don't follow astrology to the T or anything.
Mhm.
But it was like, okay, the cycle we're in is a 21-day cycle.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, then that means that I'm being guided to do this spiritual saturation for 21 days because the energy is very strong and it's helping us move forward to a better
Mhm.
timeline, right? And the
Right.
spiritual saturation is all about focusing on the heart chakra,
Mhm.
which opens once the heart is fully open, then it makes a clear connection with the intuitive part of the mind. And
Mhm.
then that's when your imagination really kicks in and you can see your future self and the things that you can experience if you choose to keep going in this direction. You see?
Right.
So that
Yeah.
was kind of just guidance. And so I said, go with it.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. You were putting them up every day. Like I
Yeah.
actually
So I
caught a
have
couple of them.
I
Mhm.
have 21 days of meditations as well. Like I did some videos, but then I have each day I did a channeled meditation. I haven't done today is actually funny thing. Today is day 21 of the spiritual process, right? Of
Hmm.
spiritual
Mhm.
saturation. And I haven't channeled that meditation yet. I think I'm going to do it later today because I just felt like I wasn't in the right energy.
Sure.
So I
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to do this in the afternoon. But so today's the last day of this particular process. But also it should be a continuation for anybody that's kind of joined this process because it's so important to continue to open the heart on a
Mhm.
daily basis.
Mhm. Yeah, and the thing about your videos they're like 10 minutes, 8 minutes, like
Yeah, they're
11,
not
12.
super long. Yeah.
No, it's a very good like in the morning or even at night for somebody. I mean, they don't have to have done it for the 21 days ago that you started.
Yeah,
Somebody
no,
could
no,
start
you can
it, be
just
fresh. Yeah.
if you resonate with it, just listen to it. That's my
Mhm.
perspective anyway.
Yeah. I'm going to bring up, we did have a chat yesterday, and it was an interesting chat because you know where
Yes,
I'm
yes, we
going.
had a lot
Yeah.
of
You know
insight
where,
around that.
yeah. And it was basically, we were talking about the relationship between women.
Yes.
And you had made a point, like, there's not really a lot of people talking about the relationships between women. And I mean, like I'm referring to like the mother daughter, like the
Hmm.
sister, the
Yes,
grandmother,
and
yeah, the
another
aunt,
yeah, and
yeah,
another point that just popped in, which I think it all intertwines, is women need to be more supportive of each other instead of so competitive. Like
exactly.
your
Hmm.
energy is more supportive, you know, you have a very safe energy, but most women, coaches or whatever, you don't feel safe in their energy because they're too competitive. Like they're afraid to share your thing or whatever. You see what I mean? It's this really kind of that it's that dissonance, you know, but women need to be a little bit more like men. And what I mean that men have each other's back. I don't care if one friend's a plumber and the other one's a billionaire. They don't care. And they will help the plumber become a millionaire, right? I mean, that's true. If you really pay attention to the men that talk about their friends, the plumber will become a millionaire because they have a friend that's a billionaire. Women, on the other hand, all they want to do is cluster with all their millionaire and billionaire girlfriends, and anybody else that doesn't fit into that group, they leave them out, even though they have potential. And I think that needs to change.
Yeah, because I think it's a deeper issue. I think it's much, much deeper.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think this is an ancestral thing. It's no, you know, I mean,
goes back to stealing someone's husband or boyfriend.
Exactly.
I mean, think about where it must be coming from. It's the pattern of dishonor is where it comes, ancestral pattern of dishonor, because women have given their power away in order to get something, right? Because that's what dishonor is about.
Yeah.
So Spirit's given me that clarity. So that's the only reason I'm bringing this up is dishonor is an ancestral pattern of for eons, right? It touches every woman on the planet, and it's that women need to learn to respect themselves in order to make those leaps and jumps and leaps into their future self, so to speak, if you want to say it that way.
Well, like I've heard people talk about a deep feminine wound that goes back I don't even know, aeons, and it has to do with deceit. The idea that a woman and I think this actually kind of goes into like the royal families where the queen would actually be carrying not the king's baby but somebody else's baby. And
well, that's dishonor. See, that's the energy of dishonor.
Oh yeah.
Because dishonor is about giving your power away or buying into a belief that you don't believe, right? You just do it anyway. So that's the same. Deceit and dishonor is a very similar dark energy, if you're going, because it goes back into the Me Too movement, right? Me Too, Me Too, Me Too. Well, that happens because women dishonor themselves and they're still playing off of trying to get something from a place of disrespect, right? Saying, I know what my value is and I'm not going to tolerate this, right? There's a whole different perspective, right?
Well, there's the flip side of that, where a woman who is honorable has been dishonored and there is no one supporting her because they would rather believe that she wasn't honorable.
But that feeds into lack of boundaries, because if you truly have solid boundaries, I don't care who those men are, the worst ones on the planet, they won't even see you. They will walk past you. You see, it's the women that don't have strong boundaries. When I say that, boundaries of self-love, which gives you clarity around respect and honor and integrity, right? Because fear-based boundaries, what that does is attracts the same, because you're saying that's never going to happen to me again. And so you're coming from a misunderstanding versus the understanding of your true value. Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. I think what I was kind of referring to was way back in the day, like the ancestors.
Right. Go ahead. I'm just saying what I've learned with my work. I'm not trying to be over.
No, I love it. I love it. I love it. Because it is about boundaries. It is about self-respect and also honoring our friendships, between each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm just saying what you said, honoring each other and having each other's back and truly wanting the other person to be successful, and that other person truly wanting you to be successful, because that's what men do. And you notice that they all succeed because they all support each other. There's no one trying to backstab the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's the right word.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't mean men are perfect. I don't mean that there's no backstabbers in the men's world, but
Right.
you notice that a lot, they get it, right? They get it. You know, a good example of that is like George Clooney. Not that I follow all that stuff, but he had 10 good friends, and he had, through a party, he gave each one of them $1 million each, plus he paid the taxes. And the reason was these 10 people helped him when he didn't have anything. See, and so they all were at a different stage of their life when he gave them this, but some of them really needed the money when he handed over that $1 million, and some of them probably didn't need it as much. But those 10 friends that had his back and let him sleep on their couch when he had nothing, that's what he did for those 10 people.
He remembered them. Yeah, he didn't forget.
So that's my point, right? That's
yeah.
point.
Oh, yeah, I get it. I get your point. There was something that popped into my head, and then it just popped right back out again. Like, isn't that the way? The idea that men, well, see, I automatically will go to like the Masonic lodges and that whole establishment, because that is a men only. And it's, except for in America, like it was Albert Pike who actually allowed women into the Masonic Lodge, and he did that in America. But here, like for the most part, Masonic lodges are male. It's a male membership, and they really help each other out in business.
Yeah, that's what
they
I mean.
really do. Yeah, they really, really do. Like they don't even really have to know each other, but
no, they don't. That's I agree 100%. That's what my another idea around this is. I remember Elon Musk mentioned that new business, we should throw parties for a new business owner and give them support or money or whatever to help them get their business off the ground, just like you would do a baby shower. Like Elon Musk said that, and I said it's really true. A person that's built is new, but they've they've done the foundation work. You know, not somebody just had a wild idea and go, let's go help that person. They actually built the foundation. They've got as many ducks in a row as they can, right? And now you throw a party to get them to the next level. I think it's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
We need to have a party for business owners that need help with the next level.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That is a good idea. And like, I would like to see more businesses, but no so much big business. I'm kind of sick of big business.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think we need to help the unique individuals that are blooming, that have great ideas, like you're saying your show is about, that really understand what the truth is and not the matrix. And I think that word's so overused, but it's kind of what I got the other day was the matrix. Tricks. It tricks you, right? The matrix tricks you. It's really the matrix, not the tricks. It's funny in the way I thought of that. I said, yeah, it's just it's a trickster, right? It's a trickster. People believe it, and it's not even real.
It's a psyop. It's like a massive psyop. Like everywhere you look, it's like there isn't any. Well, I mean, media. I think a lot of us have known this for a while. Like it's a self-serving, and it's a massive conglomerate, and it's brainwashing. It's numbing. It's like all these. It's just a narrative that actually doesn't really mean anything anymore.
Oh yeah, the government has kind of lost their credibility, because when they pulled this COVID thing, that's when they lost a lot of believers, which is good. I mean, I didn't believe them. I hadn't believed the government probably since I was 17 years old, the medical system and all that, because that's when my mother passed away. Because I really, I kind of got that, it's like there's a lot of bullshit out here.
Oh yeah.
And so anyway, I haven't believed in the medical system since I'm about 17, since 17 years of age. Mm-hmm. And so it goes with all the rest of that system, you know.
Yeah, it's not to say that there isn't good things there. Like there are.
No, it's not. Yeah. It's not all bad. I agree.
No, it's not all bad. And it's I had a similar experience when my dad got sick, and it was a self-kill. You know, like there was no other way to describe what I witnessed. It was a self-kill. And and it also had to do with his age, and he wasn't that old. I mean, he was 76 when he passed. Yeah. But it was like the attitude was not good. It was not a good. But it didn't seem to be their fault. Like the nurses were absolutely beautiful. Like they were caring individuals. Yeah. Yep.
They're only doing what they're told to do, right? They've been trained to do. Even the doctors too, like. These doctors, you know, some of them are just doing what they've been trained to do. Their intent is not to be malicious. It's the system that trains the doctors and the nurses that is, you know, is the problem, if you want to say it that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was absolutely flabbergasted. And this is about 30 years ago. I had found out that the amount of hours that a regular practitioner will take on nutrition is about 10.
Yeah, they don't do any nutritional work.
Yeah, yeah. And that's kind of scary there.
Right. They just want to give you a pill. I just talked to a client about that the other day. Like, they just give them the same old prescription, you know, take this aspirin. Take this high blood pressure medicine. They don't talk about nutrition. They don't talk about how to lower the blood pressure. They just put them on a drug that they can't get off of, which that's what infuriates me. I'm like, okay, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. And they'll tell them you're on it for the rest of your life, you know?
Yeah, like I'd be saying, I'd just throw it in their face. I walk out the office. I'm like, I'm not doing this.
You take it.
Yeah, you take it. I'm not taking it.
Yeah. Oh, I know. But the thing about the lockdown is, or at least this is how I perceive it, is a lot of people got time. You know, a lot of people got time to actually start to question, whereas their lives might have been too busy up to that point. You know, and
we all learned a lot from that.
We learned, yeah.
You know, it really shifted a lot of people at once. So it really was. It was a blessing in disguise, as they always say, right?
Can you believe it, Patricia? We are coming up on our first break. So hang in there. Hang in there, listeners. We will be back after this 3 minutes.
You're listening to Navigating the Truth with Caroline Bell Tumblety, where the truth survives and the lies are exposed.
I just want to assure you that everything is under control. There's been no damage except for some temporary malfunction of the radio.
Come be a part of this awakening by joining us in chat or by calling our hotline at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230. Worldwide callers, find us on Skype at KCOR Radio.
We're pushing the ultimate frontier here.
Control must be maintained.
More disinformation exposed and the truth discovered. After a word from our sponsors.
1 million miles till midnight. A story of timelines, artificial worlds, simulated races, and the galactic imprint. And the destiny of a blue world called Earth. 1 million miles till midnight, written by Solaris Blue Raven, is a journey through the mind's eye, which allows the reader to surf a wave of technological and multidimensional intellect, revealing a bridge between conscious design and the truth. A multidimensional bleed-through awakens the world of artificial intelligence to set sail into the frontiers of a vast multiverse, morphing planets and terraforming ascended worlds beyond the linear programs of a fated race. 1 million miles till midnight will awaken, inspire, prepare, and enlighten one to the many multidimensional states of consciousness and worlds we reside in. With every cell and atom, we are this truth and multiverse. 1 Million Miles Till Midnight. Written by Solaris Blue Raven. Available now at Amazon.com. Don't wait. Get your copy today.
1, 2, 3, 4!
To the KCOR Digital Radio Network.
I love the way it sounds.
Love the music. I listen all day.
The future of radio is here and now.
Alien Deceptions, a suspenseful sci-fi romance thriller by Tina Marie, featuring the tantalizing Erica Jones and the mysterious Russell Hamilton. An out-of-this-world book of fiction based on years of document facts and files the government does not want you to know about, at least not yet. Alien Deceptions by Tina Marie. Available now at Amazon.com or get a signed copy at TinaMarieEntertainment.com. Get your copy now.
Change your frequency, change your life with the Lemurian Plug. The Lemurian Plug is easy to control, simple to set up, and wireless. It helps to neutralize toxins and has restorative frequencies for healing. It also helps to protect you and your family from EMFs. The Lemurian Plug is energy efficient and designed using ancient technology for a superior design. One unit can cover up to 1,000 square feet. This life-changing product is reasonably priced. And isn't your family's health worth a small investment? For more information on the miraculous effects of this plug or to purchase the Lemurian Plug, visit thelemurianplug.com. That's thelemurianplug.com. The Lemurian Plug is like nothing you've ever experienced. Order yours today.
Vegas, baby!
Vegas' #1 source for talk and new music.
How cool is that?
Going live in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Navigating the Truth, the one show that peels back the masks of the elite and exposes the truth we're not being told.
Here to warn you.
You must not abuse the power you've been given. Eventually, you will lose control of that power and the whole world will suffer.
Come partake in the awakening by calling the show at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230.
Give us a call now.
Those around the world, connect with us on Skype at KCOR Radio. Follow us on Twitter at KCOR Radio or use hashtag KCOR. Come engage in the discussion live in our chat room at www.kcorradio.com.
Our survival depends upon it.
Now, back to examining the narratives and uncovering the truth with your host of Navigating the Truth, Caroline Bell Tumblety. Caroline Bell Tumblety.
Hi, welcome back to Navigating the Truth, and I have my lovely guest here. I have Patricia Hill joining me, and we're just having a chat. Hi, Patricia.
Hi, how are you? Back again.
Doing good. Yeah. So we kind of went a couple of different places in the first segment there. And I think
we did. We kind of
we kind of went, okay, let's go here.
We can focus on one area, whatever you feel guided.
No, I think just let it flow. Whatever if there's something that you would like to share with the listeners, absolutely. This is your time. The other part is we'll just go with the flow if that's okay with you.
I like that.
I like
go
it.
with the flow.
Go with the flow. And we had kind of go to I think we talked about the practitioners not really having any training in nutrition, and then I think I would segue into is like all the alternative healing modalities that are out there. Like this is in a pristine world, all of them would be acceptable and being used. That's just my opinion. Like the idea of outlawing natural remedies or acupuncture, Ayurvedic, like the list that goes on, Reiki, like, because on some level there seems to be some kind of movement to do that.
Yes. I agree. I think what I notice is, the people that are curious and they are questioning the holistic route, but the minute they ask their doctor, who is more Western based, they're like, oh no, that is, don't you ever use, what
and they put fear,
called, or don't ever use, an herb to help balance your body.
No, how dare you? No. You take the prescription I give you and you call me in the morning. Like that used to be the old thing. Take 2 tablets and call me in the morning. But
they still go by that. Some
they still
of them
go by that. Yeah.
That.
I had a couple of weeks ago, my mom, I had her taking krill oil, and like just for her joints and stuff, like, and she's been feeling really good, like, since she's been taking it, and she keeps saying to me, oh, I feel great and I'm not hurting. And I mean, my mom's 80, and so her friend, and she goes to the bingo. I mean, they're just typical white-haired old ladies, they go to the bingo, they have their gossipy and their fish and chips. And her friend is 83. My mom's 80 and her friend is 83. And her friend is in a lot of pain a lot of the time. And it's like joint pain. So my mom said to her, why don't you get the krill oil? She says, or omega-3, like get something that can help lubricate your joints and stuff. And so her friend actually went into the pharmacy and asked the pharmacy for omega-3. And they said, no, you can't take that. And she looked at them, and she looked at them and she went, why not? Because you're on this medication, that medication, and it could interfere with your medication. And so my mom called me and she said to me, the pharmacy gave her friend into trouble not to be taking that. And I said, there comes a point in your life where you have to use your discernment and look for somebody else's permission. And I say, and it doesn't matter how many times you talk to them, you're not going to change their mind. You're not going to change their mind. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. I mean, that's basically omega-3 fatty oils. They're saying don't take it.
Yeah, I don't understand why they. I remember asking my dentist. I did it anyway, of course. I asked my dentist. I said, is it okay to use clove oil on my gum, around my on my gums sometimes? Oh no, don't do that. And I was like, okay, whatever. I just did it anyway. But that's what I mean. You ask a Western trained doctor about a herbal or holistic medication or, protocol, and they'll just like look at you with you're crazy, lost your mind or something. Yeah.
Well, I had the dentist I had went to, this is a number of years ago, and I was talking about pulling, using coconut oil or olive oil, to pull the anything for the gums. And he turned around and he looked at me and he went, no, I only use coconut oil for cooking.
Oh wow.
He was like, okay.
It's just so many magnesium glycinate is very good for digestion and all that. And a lot of doctors don't they just give them a prescription for something that will be resolved because everybody is deficient in magnesium. Like everybody needs to take magnesium glycinate. Like if you just Google it, you will see that that's true. But doctors, you go to the doctor with constipation or whatever, they'll just give you a pill. They won't say, let's take some magnesium. So it's interesting how they.
Well, it's the way they're trained. It has to do with the training. And see, I don't know. I don't like these closed systems, that there's no room for exploration or even evolution. It's like, no, it's this way or no other way. And I think that's why we're in a situation now where we are ready for like a what would you call it, a tsunami of we are ready for a tsunami of people who are like, no, there is no one size fits all.
I think that hopefully the younger doctors coming in are going more as a holistic, integrative protocol and stepping away from that Western pill, give them a pill and slap you on the back and say, go home, basically.
Yeah. I got a question. Like your clients, how are their state of mind? Like, what are you finding with people?
Well, most of my clients that I coach, are very, I would say they're self-aware, but they still have a lot of unresolved emotions that they're struggling with. So when I help them to decode their story and show them where their cycles are, it helps them to create an independent system that they can live by because it's their own personal energy signature, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. You're empowering them. Yeah. It does
so they
make
don't
sense.
Have to, so that way they can go within and trust what they receive, knowing their own cycle as well as their higher self, their cycle of what the higher self is all about for them, and then what their old story has imprinted and how they're living in that imprint. And so when they have all that information, that creates a energetic system that becomes their new way of seeing themselves, which gives them the power to change their timeline, right? So that's basically what I'm helping people do.
Which is really good. What do you think is one of the biggest obstacles to a person like that is unable to see where they're stuck?
Well, there's so many unconscious layers, if you want to say it that way, because you may finally get one piece of it, right? But then there's another underlying piece that is really a hook that's to a deeper wound, if you want to call it that. And so you keep playing off that deeper wound because that has not been transformed, right? So because the universe is going to continue to give you experiences until you change your perspective, because you're living from a place of misunderstanding. Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
So there's so many layers. Yeah, there's a lot of layers, of course, but.
Well, I think we're at the point now where we want to drop the layers,
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, we want to drop them, like once and for all. Like, I mean, I have been to all kinds of seminars, workshops. Like I've also done
a lot of work.
I've done a lot of teaching, but it's like you think that you've let go something, and then 20 years later, there it is. Yeah.
Well, what I've learned with some of my clients that are, in their 50s and 60s, and they're still kind of they're still a little hooked in to that mother-father wound. And what a lot of that is, you got to realize that your parents are like gods to you, whether you see them that way or not, because they gave birth to you, right? They're your original God, your parents. So as long as you have any type of unforgiveness towards them or yourself, you have to play that out with your God until you figure it out, because your heart will not fully open as long as you have this grudge, if you want to say it that way, or resistance, or this strong opinion about what your parent did or did not do.
Right.
Does that sort of make sense?
Oh, it does make sense. And
so you have to kind of scrape out some of the. And part of my gift is to help you with that is I help them to see the other person's perspective energetically from that wound, because that's like part of my intuitive gift is I can say, well, look at what your mother was experiencing emotionally that may have caused her behavior, and they can see their own parents' pain, and that will a lot of times shift a person's perspective, like, oh my God, I didn't ever really think about how much pain my mother was. All I could think about was my pain, right?
Yeah, because a lot of the times we don't really know how the other one is feeling, because we're so in our own stuff.
And we're also a mirror for the person that we contracted with. So of course we're going to invoke their unresolved stuff, because that's what we came here to do. So if you chose that parent, and the minute you show up on certain days, not every day, you're going to invoke something that they need to heal, whether you know that's what you're doing or not.
Yeah.
You see, so when you understand that relationship, you wonder, everybody's playing a role for each other, and that's what you have to get, because the rest of it is just a clouded mess, because there is no one to forgive. Everyone's innocent, because we're all playing these unconscious roles that we've contracted to evolve into a better timeline, or repattern ourselves to a better timeline, if that sort of makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I had mentioned to you yesterday, like, the sometimes I get a trigger with my mom. And the thing is, I lived in another country for 30 years, so I didn't need to bother with it, for a very long time.
You kind of didn't have to deal with that relationship.
I didn't need to deal with it. It was call home on a Sunday and tell everybody you love them, send them good energy. I've been back here for 8 years. Since my dad passed and my partner passed, I've been back here, and I've had to, what was really interesting, Patricia? I went away for 30 years, but my family's perception of me always remained the same for when I was a child. It never changed.
Right.
Whereas I went away, grew up, had a family, like worked in another country, came back, but they were still relating to me the way that I was as a child, which really infuriated me.
Oh yeah, well that's a really good exercise of growth, or soul growth. Is going, okay, what do I do about that? What do you do about those people? I mean, you just allow them to be where they are. And if what you discuss with them and they still don't want to take that in, then you just need to not spend a whole lot of time with them, right? And the more you shift, though, this is an example too, like with my sister, the more you grow, I know we've all heard this, but when you see it in real life, time in real time, then you realize that it really does work. So the more you expand as a soul, the more you uplift your entire soul group, right? So like for instance, my sister, she always, she's been on, her doctor prescribed her Xanax when she was 25 years old. So she would call me, call me, she'd been drinking and these long, and I was like, I really love you, but I really can't sit here and listen to all this. It's too much, And so as I evolved as a soul, and I kind of just was honest with her in just a factual way. I wasn't trying to be mean. You don't have to just eliminate people. A lot of people say that, just get rid of everybody. Well,
it's not that easy.
If you can't see them in the way that you're meant to see them from a higher perspective, then you're not getting it either. You see what I mean?
Exactly. Yes.
And so I gave her enough space, but I was honest with her. And so she finally went to a psychiatrist, and he's getting her off the Xanax, but he gave her a different med. But this med she's like her old self before the Xanax. Like she's very, she's very calm and happy, and she's not depressed. You see, and she doesn't drink. She stopped drinking because, and so she's I'm talking to a whole different person now. So why? See, if I had said, oh, she's on this, she's on that, I'm just not going to talk to her at all. You see that? Why do that? That doesn't make any sense. God doesn't cut anybody off. I don't care where you are on your journey. God does not cut off anybody. You see, that's what people are that call themselves spiritual. And then they start playing that spiritual ego game where they start separating themselves, saying, well, that person's toxic and blah, blah, blah. Well, if the person is abusing you or cussing you out on the phone, sure. But if it's a
Hi, thank you for listening to Navigating the Truth on kcorradio.com. If you would like to hear this interview in its entirety, please go to kcorradio.com and you can listen to the archive for free. Thank you.